Hello and welcome to the original podcast. I'm your host, Jamie C. Foster from the YouTube channel known as Inside a Mind. And my co-host today is Eric Nielsen from the YouTube channel known as The Looney Turtle.
Hello everyone, another week, another podcast.
And our guest today is the creator of a popular web series known as Pizza Time Pizza. It's the man himself, Alex Bale. How you doing, man?
Hello, my children of pizza. It is I, the pizza man.
That's great.
I
Before
said the
we
thing.
actually... you said the thing. It's great. Before we actually start the podcast, I actually want to make... I want to issue a public apology for anyone who is listening, because in my latest video, where I covered this web series, Pizza Time Pizza, I may have accidentally alluded to the idea that the Pizza Time Pizza family were a cult. And after doing a little more research and being pushed in the right direction, I've come to the realization that the family are in no way, shape, or form a cult. I am sorry for anyone who I've offended. I was in a dark place. There's not really much more I can say. I'm very sorry.
Yes, let's all be clear. The Pizza Time Pizza family is just a system of religious veneration and devotion directed towards a particular figure. It's not a cult.
No, it's definitely a cult.
What? Huh?
It's definitely a cult. I mean, have you guys watched it? Because it's definitely a cult.
Oh, well, I thought it might have not been a cult. I was kind of swayed into the right.
No,
into...
all right. Let me get in character for a second. You have appeased the pizza man. Your sins are forgiven for now. Everyone can stop unsubscribing for you. I'm sure you took a huge dip.
I did. There was live streams of my sub count going down.
Yeah.
It was disappointing.
Yeah, there were no live streams of mine because no one really cared.
Oh dear. Have you guys seen that now that the YouTube has made the is it where you can't? It's they've. What is it? I don't know what the word for it is, but you can't actually see the subscribers go up or down anymore.
Yeah,
They've rounded it up to just zeros now, so it's not as fun watching cancel culture anymore.
Yeah,
It's like you sit there for a minute and then boop, oh, he lost 1,000.
Yeah, you have to just sit around and guess when you're gonna hit 10 million subs.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a bit of a disappointment. But we're not really here to talk about that. I actually obviously brought you onto the podcast today because I think you have a lot of potential in what you're doing, either Pizza Time Pizza or just, the things that you create. And I'm fascinated to hear some of the writing process that you do to put all this stuff together. I'm interested in hearing how Pizza Time Pizza came to be, how promos came to be, and a lot of the things that you've done across your channel for the past few years. And I think one of the ones I want to start off with is obviously the very beginning of how you got into filmmaking.
How did I get into filmmaking? That's the big question. I guess kind of my whole life I've gone back to making videos and making films. I had a lot of different hobbies and things I was interested in as a kid. But every once in a while, I'd have a school project or whatever that needed to be a video, and I'd come back to it, and I'd be like, wow, this is awesome. And just slowly throughout, my life, I've gotten more and more into making videos and the process behind it. And it just I realized that there was basically nothing that I was more interested in doing and nothing that made me feel so alive and have so much fun doing. So I decided that I really wanted to pursue it as a career.
All right. It's awesome. What is it that you enjoy more? Did you find that you enjoy the comedy kind of elements more fun to make, or is it the horror? Because you have been dabbling in both areas recently.
It's cool because they're both very similar in ways. They both kind of rely on surprise and the unexpected. A lot of my horror comes from things that are very light and taken into a very dark way, which is funny and it's scary. So, I think for the remainder of my career, the theme of the things I'm gonna make is just taking something bright and taking it somewhere dark, even if it is comedic or horror or even dramatic.
Yeah, I think that's it. I really like that kind of approach because, especially in comedy, my kind of favorite kind of comedy is when you take something so ridiculous but take it, you present it as if it's serious, and that can usually lead two ways. You either have the audience in hysterical laughter, or they end up taking the stupid thing seriously,
or both.
Both. There's something great about that, and you play it so well, maybe a little too well. But sometimes it could be a little unnerving, but you kind of present the fool a lot of the times in your videos, but the way I just think it's brilliant.
Thank you very much.
I think we should get into Pizza Time Pizza then, and promos maybe. Maybe you can start with promos, and then we'll segue into Pizza Time Pizza, because they are connected in that way. So yeah, how did you come up with the idea for promos, and how did it evolve into what it is with its overarching story, and then, switch to Pizza Time Pizza?
Well, a lot of people actually think that promos is like just a series that I started. They don't actually believe that it's like a real school news. They think that that's all part of the facade, but it is really a part of the school news. And my school was very flexible with me. But yeah, I joined school news my senior year, and I was already kind of known for like being able to edit and make video stuff, so I got the promo position with some of my best friends, and the people that have done promos before me did a really good job with making lots of funny skits, and I just saw it as a way for me to kind of just make something like really fun every week, and it looked like from like the years previous that there was a lot of room to do whatever you wanted, I was already really into the idea of ARGs and like long form storytelling, so I thought, would it be possible to tell a story throughout these promos? Like, would that even work, even though it's like the last thing you'd expect from school news commercials? And I didn't plan everything out from the beginning of promos. I decided I wanted to like kind of find a story organically. I wanted to like start somewhere really funny and light, and then like slowly get more and more dramatic and confusing. So like the first kind of instance of a story was in like episode 10 of promos, which was about Debate Club, and the kind of the story stemmed from Tyler Rose, which was like the big joke in promos in my whole school. And Tyler Rose is my friend from high school who, I guess for some reason one day I made a fake newspaper, and one of the articles was Tyler Rose dies of natural causes, and that little joke kind of spiraled off into like more and more memes, just sort of making fun of Tyler Rose for no reason, calling him like Illuminati or whatever, and that became so well known at the school and in promos that I thought I could use this as a starting off point to tell my story, and people would be able to understand it, and they would just think it's sort of a lighthearted, like not really a story, and then that would let me introduce a bigger story.
Mm-hmm. I guess once promos obviously came to an end, did you already have the idea of this other show? You were going to continue promos in this other show, or did that come like a little bit later on after you finished it?
So when promos ended, I kept some things open. I had my character go to prison, and I really liked the idea of having my character in prison, because there's a lot of cool things you could do with that narratively. You could have a prison break, you could have him start a cult from prison or whatever. And also like in terms of like the ARG secret elements of promos, there was like an underlying story that wasn't finished. So I knew that I did want to continue it in some way. I didn't really know if it would be continued in random videos or in a new series. So I didn't really have a huge plan.
Right, okay. And so how did Pizza Time Pizza come together then? Because some people have theorized in my comment section that you just found a picture one day and decided to base it around that. But was it that?
Or that was about it.
Yeah, I thought I had a sneaky suspicion that was probably what happened.
Did you just throw it together, or was there actually planning it? I just threw it together.
Yeah, just threw it together. I thought it was.
The story was I wanted to make something for Halloween, and actually I had a promo idea that involved my school my school had like an organization called DECA. I don't know if any of your schools had that thing. I don't even know what DECA is.
Mine did.
I have no idea what they do.
I never knew what it was either.
But the joke...
I just knew, there's a DECA thing. Yeah, that
Your
exists.
schools are all different to mine, so I'll have no idea what you're talking. I just go along with it when you say. I'm like, oh yeah, that's okay, cool.
Actually, I'm curious what it actually stands for. Let me search that
Sure,
while
sure.
you continue.
So yeah, and then the joke around my school was that DECA is a cult. And I thought it'd be really funny if I made a promo for DECA where like I kept talking about how it's not a cult in a very obviously culty way. And I never ended up doing it because I guess DECA never wanted a promo. And so later on during Halloween, I wanted to make a video, and I thought, I can use this idea that I've been wanting to do for a while. And I liked the idea so much that I said, let's kind of leave this open. Let's plant some seeds. And I came up with a story around the first episode. And I wasn't sure if I was going to continue it. I just wanted to see how much fun I would have making it and how well the audience would react to it. And that's how the first episode got made. And after I made that, I saw it had a pretty good reaction. But most importantly, I had a lot of fun making it and writing it. And my friends really liked it. So I just said, you know what? Let's just put all of our eggs in this basket.
All right. And so did you have the idea of the story with Jessica and all the other characters when you started making the second episode, or was that just the same thing where you just started adding to the story each episode?
Yeah, I definitely, there was like a sort of a base idea early on, but a lot of it kind of grew out naturally and a lot of it changed. By the end of like the first episode, I think I did have the idea that let's make this a secret sequel to Promos, and let's make the pizza man, the cult leader, Alex from prison, pulling all these strings. And I knew that I came into Pizza Time Pizza with a couple rules to set for myself. I wanted to make every episode feel different and unique and fun. I didn't want to do another pizza commercial the next episode.
Okay.
And I knew I also wanted to, instead of just like dropping you into a straightforward story, show lots of different perspectives and kind of build up the world before we actually get to introduce the main characters of the story. So I knew like early on I'd wanted to have like a story about a cult member who's maybe questioning his faith, a story about someone who auditions for Pizza Time Pizza and gets involved in the cult. And of course then I want to have stories about the cult leader and an outsider who's against the cult. I just didn't know the specifics of it till later on.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So you had a general idea going into it of what key points you wanted to cover, but you didn't quite have the details hammered out then?
Yeah. And lots of it changed from my initial ideas.
All right.
Okay.
To be fair, I thought the opposite. As I said to you at the start of this podcast, and surprise, I was horribly wrong. horribly wrong.
But there's like some ideas like that 14 kind of secret video in the first one. I knew I wanted to have that guy be a cult member. I knew that I wanted to have those numbers be dead bodies, and then like that's all I really knew, and then I kind of just worked my way from that and decided how I could tell a story with the elements that I already introduced.
Right. And it looks as though every episode that came out, you've tried to do something different, to kind of keep it fresh. I think a lot of people have noticed that as well in the comments section, because every video that comes out, it feels very different to the previous one, which I actually quite like. I was going somewhere with that, and then I completely lost what I was going to say. It'll come back to me. But, yeah. So...
The original podcast, we forgot what our tagline is.
We forgot what we were going to say. So what do you have planned for the finale? I thought I heard that it might be 2 parts, but is it just going to be a one big video? How long is it going to be?
Big questions.
Yeah. There's a few questions there I have.
Feel
free to answer any of them.
It's gonna be one part. For times I thought about splitting it up into more parts, but I settled on just one. It's definitely gonna be the longest episode. It's looking like 13, 15 minutes, maybe more. There's certainly a lot to it. I've been like working on this episode for like a year, and that's kind of more more because I've been busy with film school and also just procrastination and loss of motivation, which is why I'm glad that I finally set a date for myself to get this thing done.
Yeah, that's always a good thing.
But yeah,
deadlines do definitely help.
Yeah,
yeah.
But this finale, I'm very excited for everyone to see. You know, it answers some questions. It introduces some more questions. But at the heart of Pizza Time Pizza, this is more of a story about Alex as a character and what he's dealing with, and also Julian and like their relationship.
So is the finale, are we going to get kind of a conclusion, or is it going to be more or less, could it potentially be leaving it open-ended for potential other stuff in the Pizza Time Pizza world?
Yes, I mean, some things will be concluded, some things will be left open. I don't have a current plan to make more Pizza Time or make more series in this universe.
Yeah.
You know, I think starting series is a lot of fun. Following through with them is what's really hard. And, you know, there's so many times I've wanted to work on other stuff, but I've gotten lots of comments saying, make more Pizza Time or finish up the series that I ended up not doing those things. So I'm not super eager to jump back into another series, but the door that I leave at the end of Pizza Time is still open for more stories.
Fair enough. Okay, so what are you doing now then? Because you did mention that you're at film school now. What exactly is it that you're studying, and where do you plan to go from there, or do you have any ideas of where you want to go from there?
Yeah, so right now I'm in my second year of film school, Florida State University. It's a really good film school. I'm having the time of my life. It's also a very intense program. Lots of long hours, lots of assignments. We have to make like 5 films every weekend, more or less, sometimes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No wonder you couldn't actually get Pizza Time Pizza done then, if that's the amount of work you've had to put in.
Yeah. I mean, there's still like free time I have. I mean, I have free time right now that I'm spending on this podcast, but it's definitely a full-time commitment. You know, and the film school itself, the way it works is every semester we make 1 film, and I'm in like a class of like 20 or 30, and we all work on each other's films. So it's basically treated to the level of most film sets. So we use red cameras. We're very professional about it. You know, long hours.
Yeah.
But you know, I really enjoy it. As for my future, I just know I want to be a filmmaker. I don't really know the exact position that I'm interested in. I'm very interested in like all the main creative roles, like directing, writing, editing, cinematography. Yeah, so you know, I don't even know what kind of movies I might want to make. But you know, I'm very excited about the direction that I'm going in right now, and I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. So, yeah, so you're probably going to be dabbling in all those different areas once you leave film school. So we're going to see a variety of either films that you might end up writing or just filming or even directing. So
Yeah, probably horror. That's what I'm leaning towards more and more.
Yeah. I've noticed that with your more recent videos. I assume those recent videos that are horror related, were they part of your projects that you've had to do for this film school?
Yeah, and you know, sometimes I can post them, sometimes I can't. I'm still making like horror films and stuff like almost every week. It's just some I can't post.
Oh, right, okay, I see. Fair enough. So, do you think we're actually going to get to see any more of those shorts in future? You know, the ones that you're working on, or are they just not allowed to be like published at all?
I don't know, man. I'd like to make more horror shorts outside of film school projects in the future.
Yeah.
So
fair enough.
We will see.
Yeah. So when it comes to film, what is one of your favorite films, and like what are some of the techniques that they use that really like stuck out to you?
Oh boy, these questions. Yeah,
take your time, man. Don't need to worry about it.
Man, coming into film school, I had to interview to get into film school, and I was like, they're gonna ask me all about the films that I like. I'm like, I don't like. Do I even like the artsy films that I'm supposed to like, or do I even know what mise en scène is? What do I do? So I've come up with some BS answers that I
naturally you're giving us your BS answer.
Well,
We'd like them. We
it's not
prefer them.
BS. These are like genuine answers, but like, who really knows what their favorite film is? You know, there's lots of films that I really like.
Yeah, exactly. I think favorite films, you can never have a favorite film. I think they change constantly.
Sure, yeah.
You change constantly. Your tastes change constantly. I think the better questions to have are like, what is your favorite film currently? Because it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be your favorite film next year. Because I think I've had like 5 different favorite films in the space of this year. So
yeah, well, more what I was trying to get at is there a scene that stood out to you that really made you interested in film, the study of it and understanding how to make them?
Yeah, I'll say that a huge inspiration for me that you'll probably be able to see in a lot of my work is Breaking Bad, which is a TV show, not really a film. But like, yeah, that like I was like really interested in film before Breaking Bad, but I feel like watching that show was what really actually like made me say, okay, I have to be a filmmaker. Just
I've seen a lot of people do that as well. I think, the YouTube channel, the creator 70 Broad, he was inspired by Breaking Bad. I know one of my mates, he's a huge fan of Breaking Bad, and he's an actor now, but he went into acting before Breaking Bad, but that was again another thing that pushed him to wanting to be in films like that. And it's just such a good series.
You'll definitely see a lot of Breaking Bad influence in my promo series. I've stolen a lot of music from them, shamelessly.
I noticed you do that with Pizza Time Pizza, the hidden videos. I didn't actually check the music that you put in your hidden videos, and I played them on my video. So when I first uploaded it, I got copyright claimed.
Yeah, I noticed.
Like,
I noticed that you changed some. I was like, oh, he got claimed.
I had to put it back into Premiere Pro, and I was like, where the hell did that come from? And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to.
I do not care at all about copyrighted music. I probably use copyrighted music in almost all of my videos. So
I've gathered.
I make almost no money from videos because like most of them will get like copyright so that all the money goes to the music maker, which I think is fair. It's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then occasionally I'll make one with no copyrighted music that goes really big, and I'll be like, all right, I'll just ride this for now.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, so you mostly get matched third parties rather than strikes?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever gotten a strike before.
No.
Oh, okay, that's helpful.
Yeah, I don't think they usually, unless I think the only times I've ever seen real strikes are when they've actually been criticisms of the movie or actual song. That's when I've ever seen a strike. But I've never really seen it happen for music that gets placed in people's videos, because I think they've realized they can profit off it.
Yeah. That's a win-win. I'll give them the money if they just let me use the songs.
Yeah.
I actually heard that they're going to change that policy so that copyright owners can't profit from somebody else's video. But
I think it's only if
remember.
like with a small clip, they can't like take all the money if like someone just uses a tiny clip from them.
Yeah, it's 6 seconds, as far as I'm aware,
which is
that's
good.
Usually
very good.
Yeah. If I've ever used a clip from something that has copyrighted material, it usually does okay if I just keep the clip under 6 seconds.
Yeah, I was worried about your video on me because I was like, should I tell them that I use like almost all copyrighted music?
Probably would have helped a little bit, but it didn't really make much of a difference.
Well, I didn't want you to be like, oh, well, I'm not doing your video anymore.
No, I would have just repainted over it the lyric. To be fair, I think I've been lucky because most of the stuff I've used has either fallen under the 5 second mark, or it's literally just I've been able to just repaint it. I think it was just 2 videos that I got claimed, and I think it was the Jessica when she was being watched, because I played the full video, and the 14 video. It was just those 2. I think everything else seemed to be okay. And I think it might have been because sometimes I've done jump cuts between things, or I just haven't played enough of the clip for YouTube to pick it up. So
That's good.
It was
That's good. Yeah.
It was all good. Yeah, I got out of that way. I want to bring up Breaking Bad again because I just saw a trailer for the new movie.
Yep, it's coming out.
Yeah, it's coming out. I don't know what to think of it yet. I guess I'm just gonna have to wait till the movie. But it looks very different to Breaking Bad itself. And I've got to be honest, it is a very big risk to actually continue it straight after the finale, because it's a great contained story, and so to continue that, I think is a very big risk. It's very similar to, I probably get a lot of shit for this, but Friends, when they have a finale. I actually like the show Friends, even though people say it's obviously incredibly overrated. But I think the finale ended the best way it possibly could. And continuing that kind of thing now, bringing it, like, let's say they want to bring it into a movie, you risk kind of ruining that moment where it ended. And I think it's a similar thing here with Breaking Bad. I mean, Vince Gilligan is in charge, so maybe he usually knows what he's doing, so I do have confidence in that area. And the Netflix teaser that came out, I don't know what your guys' thoughts on that, but the dialogue didn't seem that good, but the style seemed different to Vince Gilligan, so I don't know if he actually took part in that teaser, and it was just Netflix themselves trying to promote it.
Yeah, you guys, you've got my same opinion. When that teaser came out, I was like, oh no, this doesn't. Yeah. This is like really weirdly written. It was weird that like he spewed out all that exposition like all of a sudden, even though they've been having this conversation for like 4 hours.
And he just decides to tell everyone what they already know.
You know, I'm just gonna.
Part of me. Go on. Sorry.
I'm just gonna assume that like that's just a teaser, but made by Netflix. You know, Vince Gilligan. People like gave doubts when he made Better Call Saul, but he proved that was great. So
yeah.
I trust him.
Exactly.
Vince Gilligan can make a film of paint drying, and I'll watch it.
To be fair, he has a lot of scenes where paint are drying, and it still comes out entertaining. So, that is my personal opinion on the Netflix teaser. I really hope that that was just made by Netflix, because the cinematography just seemed very different to Vince Gilligan, and the dialogue itself. So, fingers crossed.
The big trailer came out today.
Yeah,
you saw that? The trailer looks good.
Yeah, the trailer looks pretty good. I was actually wondering if Walter White would end up showing up in this as like not exactly as himself, but like as a hallucination. I was wondering if that's the story they were going to go through, like all the characters that Jesse's ended up meeting over the course of his life is just going to show up in front of him while he's trying to outrun the police.
Well, Mike Ehrmantraut's coming back.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So there'll be flashbacks, I assume.
Well, I wasn't even thinking flashbacks. I was just thinking, like, you know, those stories where
I can't see them doing a hallucination.
I don't know. I really don't know at this point. I mean, I hope they don't, because that might be a bit dodgy. But hey, we'll have to wait and see till October 11th.
Woo!
All right, got that out of the way.
What, did you disappear for a bit?
No, I was joking about how we focused a solid portion of the podcast on the Breaking Bad.
I wanted to. Every time someone brings up Breaking Bad, I've got to talk about it for a bit, especially when there's new stuff coming out.
Yeah, but then you just give that air of finality with the release date. It's kind of like a trailer.
Sponsored, not sponsored. Sorry.
Yeah, hashtag not sponsored, guys. We'll try eventually, but we're not sellouts yet.
Right, I think we've pretty much got over everything that we need to, so I think we'll actually draw it to a close here. Alex, thank you so much for obviously coming on to the podcast, and for anyone listening, I hope you have seen Pizza Time Pizza. If you haven't, go onto the Alex Bale YouTube channel to check it out. He's got a bunch of other stuff that are just as good, if not better, like I said in the video. Even some of his horror shorts I highly recommend.
Yeah, thank you very much for the video you made on me and for having me on. My phone's just been blowing up with comments and subscribers. It's just been really awesome for my channel.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, glad it has that effect on you now, even though this is pre-recorded.
Yeah, I really started blowing up when this podcast came out. You know?
Oh yeah. It's been great having you. I don't know what else.
I thought you were going
thought,
somewhere.
I thought Jamie was going to take over.
No, it's all right. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.